By now, the pair of Vicky and Nikki, that is Vikram and Nikhil, had become known for being dashing, enterprising and active. Whenever they would set out on a trek or trip, their mothers would get butterflies in their stomach. Yet, their fathers were proud of their brilliance and industriousness, while Commissioner Uncle motivated them. This duo was his inspiration for setting up a flying squad, and he called their group the Mini Flying Squad. This time, the Mini Flyers were off to Salil's bungalow at Khalapur. An old lady called Sonu Aji lived within the premises of the house. She was the housekeeper. She was very efficient and capable. People were in awe of her. So Salil's parent had no hesitation in sending the children alone. The Mini Flyers, including Vicky, Nikki, Salil, Rohan, Tushar, Atharva, Parth, Ankita, Manali and Sonali were on their way to Khalapur. The group of boys and girls were on a trip to Khalapur. Sonu Aji was looking after their needs. Soon, they discovered some people in disguise. Were they acting in a film or helping a criminal group plan some destruction? Would the children find the truth? Let's hear about the courageous steps taken by the leaders Nikki, Vicky and dear old Sonu Aji in this story. Anybody would bet that these kids would never go straight to Khalapur, without doubt. They had decided to travel by train from Mumbai to Karzat and then walk along the highway, take a train to Khopoli and proceed to trek along the hilly range, reaching the bungalow by afternoon. The children started early as planned. It was the peak hour with great rush of people. They were not able to do much on the way, but enjoyed observing the crowd. 3 women were seated in another part of their compartment. They too possibly planned to alight at Karzat. They seemed to have a lavish life. They spoke primarily in English, which was occasionally interspersed with Marathi and Hindi. The girls' attention was drawn towards them. After the train crossed Ambarnath and Badlapur, it became less crowded. The children were relieved. They were eager to relish the hot vadas at Karzat. The 3 women left unnoticed when the train touched Karzat. The children walked to Paras, gorging on hot vadas, plucking leaves of the Paras trees on their way, lifting dry twigs, pelting down raw mangoes from trees with stones. They finally boarded a train till Khopoli. Then they climbed the slope, hitchhiked to Khalapur. Sonu Aji was waiting for them. Their food was kept ready. The children were pleased with the hot meal. With permission from Sonu Aji, they went for a swim in the river Patal Ganga in the evening. Parth, Atharva, Rohan and Tushar were absorbed in swimming. Nikhil, Manali, Sonali had come out on the bank. While chatting, they had been changing and drying their clothes in the breeze when suddenly 4 or 5 women walking in the distance caught the attention of Manali and Sonali. The sight of the partially empty baskets of guavas on their heads made it obvious that they were guava sellers. Something was peculiar about these women. Sonali just could not take her eyes off their faces, which appeared extremely familiar. Stretching her memory, it suddenly flashed through her mind that these 3 women were the same lavishly dressed ladies in the train. Now they were dressed in saris, baskets on their heads, and wore the traditional putra neckbands. How did they manage such an effective change of attire, and for what purpose? Why? Manali asked, "Sonali, what happened all of a sudden? Why are you so lost?" At which she voiced her suspicion. Undoubtedly, she was sure the women were the same 3 passengers. "Come on, you must have imagined it," remarked Salil. "But don't you know, Salil?" retorted Manali. "Sonali never forgets a face. That's why we call her Hawk-Eyed Cop. There must be something fishy here. Let's share this with the others." Sonali said, "I'll tell the others. Till then, Nikhil, you and Salil can keep a watch on them. The boys will follow you. We'll wait at the bungalow. Give us a ring. Go, 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 run. Nikhil was just waiting to rear up. He and Salil left at once. Sonali called the others and reported the whole matter. Vicky and the others also followed them immediately. The three girls returned to the bungalow. They made a phone call after about half an hour. The three women had gone to the new bungalow in the meadow on the outskirts of the town. Two young men were also following them. They were conversing in Hindi. They returned home as it was getting dark. The children's faces brightened up when Ajji served lovely onion crispies and hot coffee. Manali and Sonali had already intimated Ajji about the matter. Ajji was very practical. She said, the fact that the three women were walking wearing a kashta sari and carrying head baskets shows that they must be practicing the appearance of the rural folk. I am acquainted with a woman guava seller. We will get all the information if she has been with them. The children accepted the plan at once. Ajji set out with Nikhil and Salil to meet the vendor. They waited at the door while Ajji went inside the house. Ajji and the vendor first talked about the day-to-day matters. Then the vendor said, now look at the interests of city girls. While Rakhma and I were on our way to sell guavas, three fashionable girls approached us and asked if we could go with them to their bungalow. They wanted us to teach them to drape a sari just the way we did. They had bought a couple of saris with them. They said that they would come with us to see how we move about and speak and sell guavas with us. They've also promised to pay for all the guavas with an additional 500 rupees each to both of us. They said they are playing the role of guava vendors in a film and want to learn how to do this work. We went to the bungalow with them. Two young men were present there. They spoke in English. I was a little scared. Bothersome affair. Actually, I have to travel out of town tomorrow, I told them. But they suggested that I should postpone my plan by a couple of days. Ajji said, oh, you can go ahead with your travel plan and I can meet them instead of you. Oh dear me, how can you carry a head basket? So what? I can carry a few guavas and fill up head baskets for those maidens. Alright then. Come at 7 in the morning and I'll take you to their bungalow. Ajji came out with a smile. The plot was going to succeed. Ajji, hide my tape recorder within the folds of your sari. If you notice anything important, just press the button so that all their conversation will be recorded and we'll get to know their plan. But Nikhil, are we suspecting them without any reason? What if they are really preparing for a film? Sonali, have you ever heard of actors going all the way to a village for such a thing? On camera, the actor's face can be shown alternately with the rear view of any guava seller. And if they are practicing their role, why are the boys following them? Anyway, forget that now. Let Ajji complete her visit. Then we'll know the truth of the matter. Ajji got ready early next morning. She hid Vikram's tape recorder in her sari. She asked him the procedure of using it again and again. The children divided themselves into 3 groups around Ajji so that she would not face any problem. They set out quietly. Rakhma, with Ajji in the guise, reached the bungalow. They were told that this other woman had come in place of Gangu, who was away. Ajji helped them drape the saris well. She adorned them with the putara neckbands, placed the carrying rings on their head, and they all set out with head baskets of guavas. There was no one along the path near the riverbank. The 3 women were looking about. The 2 youths met them. They began speaking in English. Ajji had passed the vernacular final, so she could follow English. One man said, "Everything has been arranged. You have to reach Pune tomorrow." Though Aji gauged this meaning, she realized that recording was necessary. But how was she to start it? Just then, those people asked them to wait under the tree and they went near another one. Aji told Rakma that she would be back in a minute. The 5 of them were talking right behind the thicket. Aji quickly switched on the tape recorder and hid it carefully in the grass. Having seen the mini flyers nearby, she signaled to them where she had covered the object, but was restless. What if they would come this side and step upon the tape recorder? Oh God, hope they retrace the same path which they had taken earlier. Luckily, the young men went the other way. The women approached these two. They all walked along. Under the pretext of a thorn prick, Aji stopped to look back. She observed the children retrieving the tape recorder. The mission was successful. Aji returned home in the evening. Nikhil, Vikram and Salil had gone to Pune by then. Their guess was proved right. 3 women were agents of a terrorist gang. Their plan was very dangerous. They were to reach Pune the next day. They had plotted to reach the ammunition factory in Khadki and add cyanide in the water tanks there. They were to reach during the duty hours of a sentry called Malhotra so that they would not be checked. Nikki and Vicky met their commissioner uncle. They played the recording to him. Immediately he planned his related strategy. The next afternoon, the 3 women reached the factory as planned. The sentry named Malhotra pretended to check them and send them inside. Having confirmed that no one was around, they proceeded to the water tank. Just then, the lawn mower stopped them. He started bargaining for guavas at leisure. 2 more workers arrived. Some female mowers also approached them. Everyone got busy choosing guavas. The 3 women were in a hurry to move. They got confused to see so many people coming out to them. They snatched the guava from the workers. Just then, the women commandos in the guise of movers revealed their true identities. They confiscated the cyanide in possession of the 3 women. Other commandos caught the sentry Malhotra. The clever children had averted a big tragedy. But nobody divulged the details about how the plot had been unearthed. What if the terrorist group suspected Rakhma or Sonu Aji? The commissioner had arranged a police patrol in their area for a long time. Of course, Aji had no idea about this arrangement. As usual, the children chose to remain anonymous to avoid any danger. Nevertheless, the mini flyers were felicitated for yet another achievement in the NCC. That was the grand finale of the trip to Khalapur.